BCB Live, the safest station in the nation, and Drive Safe Dave. We are joined today by another podcaster.
A celebrity.
A celebrity out of Denton, Texas.
Man, you guys are hyping it up, man. I'm just glad to be here.
You know what? We're glad to have you. And let me tell you something. A good friend, and you know how he's a good friend, Dave? We shared chapstick together today.
Yeah, I didn't think you were going to bring that up on the air. That's just like kissing. I don't even think that's
We are
fair.
in Las
No.
Vegas.
I'm making sure right now that if something starts growing here right now, Mrs.
Okay,
Larkin knows
I'm sure,
it's
I'm
John.
sure it's all
It
his
was-
fault.
it
It
was
didn't have anything to do with what he's done all weekend in Vegas.
Let me clear the air. We just heard from Dr. Ben Carson, keynote speaker. He said it's all about helping others. So Rick was looking for some help, and I happened to be able to help him.
Man, I do appreciate it. Big help that is. Hey, so John, what we do on BCB Live, we speak to about safety. We want not just for the drivers, for dispatchers, for companies, for shippers, receivers, for everybody, that the safety of a driver is all of our responsibilities. Hey, what do you do on your podcast to kind of talk to the same subject?
Yeah, I'm fortunate to host a podcast called The Road Home, where we just really try to get in the air. And I know when you guys do your stuff, you think about, hey, what's that one listener, that one viewer that I can impact? So with The Road Home, I try to impact independent contractors, individual drivers. And I was, I don't know if you call it fortunate or unfortunate, Rick and Dave, to listen to a speaker at a safety conference about 12 years ago talk about distracted driving. He started off his segment with a collision at like a small town, four-way stop. And at the beginning of that hour, he said the person that hit that other vehicle was texting while driving.
Yeah.
There was a fatality. A 12-year-old boy was killed. Went through all the information, all the stats about distracted driving. At the end of that hour, he said that 12-year-old was my son. So as a result of that, I do some PA work at local baseball fields and stuff. I end every broadcast with, and remember, no texting while driving. So that's big for me,
Gotcha.
safety, getting these professional drivers, whether a man or a woman, back home safely to their family. Because I know, we all start off in the trucking industry, behind the scenes, operations, dispatch, and we all see how hard they work and how important it is for them to provide for their family and get home safe.
Yeah, and so much of the what happens with the drivers out there on the road, it's out of their hands. And Dave, I want you to talk a little bit about that, because it's in the hands of the dispatchers, of the trucking company, of the safety of the office, those that support the drivers. We also have a big impact, right?
Yeah, and it's not just like, hey, it's not just picking up the phone and go, hey, drive safe today. It's
Thank
also
you.
about listening to what's going on, understanding your driver, have that relationship so you know that moment, that time when it doesn't sound right, when it doesn't feel right, so that that relationship's imperative. It is like a give and take, and knowing, hey, maybe is anything going on? What do I need to know? Or something's big coming up on their life, right? Some big moment, whether it be a grandchild, whether it be or it could be a graduation. They need to get home, right? They're worried about it. Keep them at ease. Always talk to the driver. Always be that part that is a calming factor in making sure that driver is safe, right?
Yeah, we're here at the TCA. There's so much technology around us. The exhibit hall hadn't opened yet, but Rick and I were just talking to Bob Perry, who's passionate about health and wellness in the trucking industry, because his father was a truck driver and had heart disease, obesity. So we were talking earlier about the importance of getting a good night's sleep and all these things. So to your point, Dave, if you're talking to a professional driver and they say, man, I'm just not feeling that great, I didn't sleep that good last night, maybe you switch up their load in dispatch. Or,
For sure.
You say, hey, you remind them or remind their fleet manager to stay in tune to what John, Susie, or Sally is doing on the road.
Hold on. Maybe you pick up the phone and call that shipper, and then it's the hottest load, and you say, it's going to be late.
Already?
It just is going to be, there's nothing that's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to be my drive. Well, the weather's fine. The driver didn't get any sleep last night.
Yeah,
You know what?
An hour. It needs 2 hours.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it's the honesty. It's the truth.
Yep.
Wouldn't you rather have a 2-hour nap than having somebody out there not being able to keep their eyes open, not being able to pay attention, and be less than 100% on the road all the time?
Well, hey, even us being in this time zone, we all live in the Dallas, Texas area.
Yeah.
We're 2 hours difference. The first night out here on the West Coast, man, my circadian rhythm gets out of whack. And yesterday, I probably wouldn't have not want to been on your air because I didn't sleep well, I didn't feel good. I slept a little. I got like 6 hours of sleep last night, so I feel a little better today. It makes a difference.
Hey, talk to me real quick about your podcast. Okay, how did you even get into that? Why podcast?
Well, it started off with I'm a fan of podcasting. I like to consume content. In my ear, Dr. Ben Carson talked about all the books he read. I've never been diagnosed for ADHD, but I can't sit still and read, so I like to listen to
Gotcha.
books on tape or audiobooks. So I started doing some high school sports stuff in the Denton area with high school football, and then that morphed into some baseball. I started a podcast called Behind the Dish just to tell the story to impact those players, coaches, and most importantly, parents that are
Yeah.
kind of over the top. And then I went to, yeah, it's a big deal. And then I went to some industry experts, said, hey, I'm thinking about doing kind of like what you guys are doing, an audio kind of like newsletter in podcast form for organizations. And that individual, Bill Webb, said, well, hey, I would like for you to do that for us. And he runs the Trucker Service Association that sponsors and presents the Road
Gotcha.
Home. And their members are made up of independent contractors, individual drivers. So we bring that to them once a month and bring, unique content, try to make it fun, informative. We talk about little 3-4 day vacations. Like I've had the president of the Kentucky Distillers Association on to talk about, hey, what's a great 3 or 4 day trip up through Kentucky,
Yeah.
visiting some of the lakes. So it's not all about trucking. It's about getting their mind off of trucking. And it's been great. We're in our 3rd season
Awesome,
on
man.
the road home. So.
Well, good deal. Hey, listen, we are at the TCA. You mentioned it. Lots of technology out here that we're going to talk to today. Coming up next, we have Corey, and you've seen him on here before, a little no-cell technologies.
That's right.
Drive Safe Dave, we got that. I want to thank you, brother. Appreciate that.
Yeah, man,
Thanks for the
appreciate all y'all
chapstick.
do. Hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, it's important to have fun in whatever you do, and we're having some fun out here.
Yeah, you need to, and if you get a chance, come out and see John. He's here at the TCA. If you're out here
Yeah,
running around,
add-on systems.
yeah, absolutely. Go over there and say hi. Shake it up, grab some of that stuff off the table, and run away.
And we're out of chapstick, by the way.
Last one right here. We're coming up next in about a minute and 20 seconds with more BCB Live. Go ahead and say it. Safest station in the nation.
Safest station in the nation.
Bam!
Bam.